Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today I would like to show you a Motorsport upgrade on the rear axle frame of the 202. That's why you see a freshly powder coated one here. I bought this for demonstration purpose to show you the assembly process of the parts I will show you in a second. Because from today I will have a new product in my online shop, which is a rigid Motorsport bearing kit for the axle frame. A lot of you might know that these four mounting points here on the axle frame, there are some rubber bushes, some rubber bearings inside, which get old over time. And a lot of people will have to exchange them these days because now the bearings are 20 to 30 years old. And what happens when they're old is that they give more movement to the rear axle frame. And this leads to a very bad drivability because, as you can imagine, when the rear axle frame can move around a lot, the car will drive very unstable and you will feel like the rear end is very squishy. And for motorsport purpose or like track tool purpose, it doesn't make sense to use the original ones because the only purpose of these bearings is to give you comfort. They're designed to damp away sound and vibrations from the differential and the CV joints, and this has only comfort purposes. From a driving dynamic point of view, it would be the best if the axle frame is rigidly mounted to the chassis, so there's no relative movement between the axle frame and the chassis itself. And that's what I did on my race car already a lot of years ago. And I already showed this in other videos, but just to recapture this, you see here that I exchanged these bushes to plastic ones, and my axle frame is rigidly fixed to the chassis. And it works well for a lot of years now. And that's why I thought I want to transform this prototype to a product and sell this to customers because it helps so much with the drivability on the track. And that's what you see here. So this is the product you can purchase from today in my online shop. So these are the plastic bushings. They're made from a very high grade material, the ultra high density version of polyethylene, which is a very nice technical plastic, and it also has good damping and impact capabilities. So it's perfectly made for that purpose. We have some very well machined aluminium shells which come inside and get clamped to the chassis, and also some very nice stainless steel washers. And the whole kit is made in Germany with local companies here. So it's the best quality I was able to provide for this kit. And I think it became very nice. I'm very proud of the quality I can offer. And I will show you in a few seconds how to assemble this to the rear axle frame. And I will also install this to some of my cars, but at the moment it is difficult because my race car is blocking the only working place here. But I hope to get it on wheels in 3 or 4 weeks, and then I will put the M104 Turbo on this spot, and then I can exchange to this kit and also do some other stuff. But this I will show you in a separate video. But I would say let's start with the assembly process and show you how to assemble this kit the right way. So first of all, we will press in the aluminium parts into the plastic bushings, because this is easiest to do while the bushings are still on the table and not in the axle frame. And we have to make sure that we use the right orientation. So you see the smaller bushings are oriented like this. So the bigger sized element is facing upwards, and on the bigger bushings it's the other way around. And on the aluminium parts, the pockets are facing upwards too. You can always have a check on the axle frame. There you can see the orientation of the bushings, and this will help to get the right orientation. Very important is to use some grease when pressing those parts in, but it doesn't matter which grease you use because this plastic is resistant to anything. You can use like a molybdenum grease or a standard machine grease or whatever you find in your workshop. And that's what I will do now. I will grease up the hole and the aluminium part and then squeeze them together in my vise. This should be very easy, but it can't be done by hand because this is a tight fit, as you might see. So it needs to be done with some force, or a hydraulic press could be also sufficient to do this. I've placed both parts in the vise. Everything is greased up nicely and we can start pressing. It goes very easy. And that's what you have to do for all 4 bushes now. This is how it looks when all 4 aluminum parts are pressed in. Make sure on the smaller bushes that these surfaces are on the same level. So you have a little bit standing out on the bottom. And now we can press all these 4 parts into the axle frame. And for that it is good to have a hydraulic press, which I have, but it's standing somewhere there in the corner and I think I won't reach it. But it can also be done with this kind of tool box here. I have this a long time but never used it much. But for this purpose it is perfect. You will have to have some sizes of cups and some threaded rods to pull them in. And I will do this now to all 4 mounting points and then show you the result. Here you see the preparation of pulling it in. I just used a big steel washer on this side and a cup on the other side. And you can grease it for pulling it in, but because this axle frame is freshly powder coated and has a very good surface on this area, I'm just using silicone spray to give it a little bit lubrication. But the purpose of the plastic bushing is to never get out of this axle frame again, to sit there nice and tight and not have the possibility of relative movement. So the best would be actually to pull it in dry, but this can sometimes be tricky when the surface is full of rust and very rough. So it's no problem to also use some lubrication there, but don't overdo it. And I will pull it in and let's see how it works. I'm at the bigger bushing now, and to show you how easy this goes, I can do this just one-handed, looped up a little bit with silicone oil, and it goes in very nice. The right amount of clamping force. And it's in. Tightened a little and we're done. Now the 4 main parts are in. It was very easy to do. If you have assembled the original part in here, you will know how much of a disaster this can be. But with this Motorsport kit it is so easy. And now we still have to put the plastic washers on. This can be done with a hammer, for example, or I just test managed it to do it by hand. That's one. Second one. To turn it around, and we have those which go on the aluminium. Those might be a little bit more tight, so I will have to put the phone away and do it with a hammer. But then we're done with the plastic parts, and then I will just show you where the washers go, and then we're done. This was also easy to do by hammer. I used a rubber hammer to not dent the parts, and it was going very well. And that's it. You just need to place the washers after putting the axle frame onto the car. We now see the bottom of the axle frame, so the washers then actually go here. The big ones on the big bearing, of course. And the washers also clamp a little the plastic parts, so everything is really tight and the axle frame can't move out. And I think it also looks cool. That's it for this video. Here you see again the final product. I sure will do a video when assembling this to my M104 Turbo and then also show you how it looks on the car. Comment, like and subscribe if you want to stay updated on all the products which will come in the future. There's a lot coming up, and see you in the next video.